Hi, it's Jared Griffiths here, and I've been reviewing some Christmassy Laurel and Hardy films, and this one isn't really Christmassy, but it was remade into a Christmas one, which this is Slipping Wives, which was remade into the short The Fixer-Uppers. So yeah, this was one of the early Laurel and Hardy films. This was before they were really Laurel and Hardy. This was just one that this was just a short that they just happened to be in. Really, it was starring really it was a short starring Priscilla Dean, who apparently was a big star at the time. So this basically is about the story of the fixer-uppers. Priscilla Dean is a wife who's married to a painter, who in this one's called Leon, who they basically like kind of neglect her, and you see that happening first, unlike in the fixer-uppers, where she just tells Laurel and Hardy about it, and basically they decide to have to get somebody to I should tell you who Laurel and Hardy play in the film. Oliver Hardy plays Jarvis, the butler, who he also played a butler who looked pretty much the same in the short called Sugar Daddies, which is on this DVD, which was they kind of used an idea of that for the short Chickens Come Home, which is the picture on here, which I think it says that inspired the ending gag. And another early short, Sugar Daddies, provides a variant on the idea, plus the same climactic gag. So they kind of use the idea for that. So he plays Jarvis, the butler, in this, Ollie, and Stan plays Ferdinand Flamingo, who's a handyman who comes to their house, and basically Priscilla Dean's character, she's just called, she doesn't have a name in the character, so I'll just call her that by her real name, but she basically hires Ferdinand Flamingo, who's played by Stan Laurel, to pretend to be in love with her, basically to make Leon, her husband, jealous and then show her more love. And I can definitely see where they got the idea of the fixer-uppers in this. The very end gag was also used in the feature film A Trump at Oxford, and it was also used in another Laurel and Hardy silent film called Wrong Again, the very end gag of this one. But it's very interesting seeing Laurel and Hardy in this before they were together, and Oliver Hardy looks very different from normal that. He looked very similar playing the butler in Sugar Daddies, except in Sugar Daddies I think he still had the mustache, but in Slipping Wives he didn't. So so it's kind of it's interesting as well, because I think a lot of people might be more familiar with the Fixer-Uppers because it's a talkie, but and they might not have even known that it was a remake of a silent or never even seen it. But it's very interesting seeing this. I might even kind of prefer it to the Fixer-Uppers. I'm not sure. Fixer-Uppers was funny as well. Yeah. But yeah, definitely recommend checking it out. It's interesting seeing them, before they teamed up, and how they remade it into the Fixer Uppers. And bye.